right, man. Well, the last time I talked to you, it was when the Oilers were in the finals, and you asked because we're here in Calgary. You just said, "What's it like in Calgary right now? Are you rooting for the Oilers?" And everyone was a wee bit torn by that question, but after they lost, the answer was like, "No, we're pretty good with them losing." So,
When you're asked a question like that, you're like, how do I really feel about it? And
I
now we
know.
know.
And well, in my case, it was again. I'm a Leafs fan, so I didn't care, so it didn't matter. All right, man. We'll get on to the questions here and the conversation and all that stuff. First and foremost, congrats. The tour's starting up tomorrow in Kingston. Biggest question I do have is how do you feel that Kingston changed the name of that arena to a Slush Puppies place that their first show?
I like um I like a silly name for an arena.
Sure.
Like because there's a lot of arenas that are just like named after like banks or telecom companies or whatever, and they're kind of boring. There's Canada Life Center in Winnipeg, and there's Canada Life Place in London. It's just like Canada, like whatever. Maybe Canada Life's great. I don't know, but Slush Puppy Place. I love the idea that like Slush Puppy like finds out that like the naming rights are open for a rink, and they're like, we're
That's
all in on this.
that's our spot.
That's our spot. Like I want stupid names on our arenas,
When I think about
or like community heroes, one or the other.
I was gonna say when I think about Kingston, I obviously think the Tragically Hip and Slush Puppies now. So that's
Yeah,
that's where the
exactly.
two go there. Actually, one cool thing or a video that you guys posted was each arena that you guys are playing at, you got a jersey with Arkells on the back of it. Did you plan that
Yeah.
ahead of time, or did everyone just send you the stuff, or how'd that work?
Well, and now that you bring up this question, I feel like I should be dressed
Well,
appropriately
I
for
thank
this
you for that.
interview. One second. Here we go. There's our Kells.
I'm
We're
glad
ready
that
to
was just
rock.
readily available already.
Listen, we're professionals here,
Okay.
okay? Yeah, no, we like to have a good time. We work hard on the show. We want to make sure that everyone's in the spirit. So yeah, the teams were like, really, most of them reached out saying, "Oh, we want to send you a jersey. Could you sign it? Could we, gift it out?" I'm like, sounds great. Let's do that.
I made a joke about how expensive jerseys are. I'm like, if you want a free one, just start a very successful band and then tour, and then there you go. That's how you get them.
That's literally it. I have so many jerseys. I have a lot of jerseys over the years. Yeah, I've given them a lot of them away, but because I don't know how I'd feel. I like wearing my own merch. That I'm totally comfortable with wearing my own merch.
Sure.
I ran into Andrew Scott from Sloan on the street the other day, and I was wearing an Arkel shirt. He's like, "You can't do that, man." I'm like, "You can. You can do that."
Of course you can.
But when it comes to jerseys with Arkells on the back, I feel a little weird about that for some reason. I don't know exactly why. But yeah, anyway, carry on. What was your next
I
question?
like how
Sorry, I
hold on,
digress.
no, hold on. This matters. I like how that bothers you because so many people like it, myself included. I'm in my mid 30s right now, and if I have another person's name on my back, I feel weird about that. But if my last name DePaula was on the back of my jersey, I feel okay with that.
Yeah, it's like, which is Arkells. I don't know. I don't know exactly. Uh, yeah, but this Flames jersey kind of hits in a different way. The color scheme is so unique. I'm wearing this red, white, and yellow.
We
It's
got
in
a
gold.
we got a nice thing going on over here, especially with
Right.
winning and whatnot. Okay, I can talk sports with you for a long time, trust me. But in this case here, so the opening acts that you have to start the show off is poolside. Poolside,
Hmm.
then Kay Flay's going to finish up the show out in BC there.
Yeah.
When it comes to actually picking, I always love hearing how you choose who is going to be opening for you guys.
It's a great question. I mean, it's all context specific. So on this tour, for instance, I'll run down how we did each one. So we just did two dates in Atlanta, Canada, and we got Joel Plaskett to open. And Joel's like a hero to us. Joel is one of the reasons why I wanted to be in a band in the first place. And we have a song with Joel. So to get to watch him in Moncton and his hometown in Halifax, and every other song he has the word Halifax in it, and the crowd was like lit up for him. And to be able to sit like at the barricade and just like 10 feet in front of him, just watching him sing my favorite songs, like felt like such a treat. Like it was so cool. So that was why we did in Atlanta, Canada with Joel. Poolside is just a really cool American like electro indie dance band. And I came across them a few years ago because they have a cover of Neil Young's Heart of Gold. No, Harvest Moon. But it's like a very dancey, like they're called Poolside. It kind of reminds me of listening to a dancey version by a poolside of that song. And I went to go see them in Toronto, and they blew me away. So I was like, let's play with them. And then we have a song with Kay Flay, and she's an old friend of ours. You Can Get It, and anytime you can double up and bring out the opener on stage for the headline performance, we always love that. So it's nice. Like in the summer, we got to play with Tegan and Sarah, and we have a song with Tegan and Sarah, and they got to come out and do it with us. So it's like it just makes the night feel a little different than normal.
Do you find it difficult sometimes because obviously in this industry you make so many friends to be able to pick a friend, or do you have to kind of separate the friendship from the business side of things to pick somebody?
No, I mean, yeah, I'm sort of the mind that it's like a long road. So it's like at some point we'll get to do stuff with a band that we love, you know. And Valley's doing the last round of shows, and they're a great young band, and
Awesome.
and they're working really hard. And Kara sings on one of our songs on a couple records ago. So it's like, yeah, I mean, there's usually it's like either because you're a fan of the band, or you have a song with them, or it's like, you know, all of the above. But yeah, it's a long road. You know, I'm of the mind that you're going to cross paths if everyone's staying at it for long enough.
We actually have Valley here in studio next Friday because they're going to be in the city.
No,
So
awesome. Yeah,
yeah, great,
tell them we say
great.
hi.
I had a chance to talk to them like a few months back. Just great people, which is always I like talking. Again, I'm from Mississauga, so I always love talking to people from like that area and just being like, "What's it
Yeah.
like? Has it changed?" So actually, I'll tell you this one thing I do love, and you kind of sparked my interest with it was just kind of being on the side of the stage, being able to hear your heroes actually perform. I got this is a bit of a humble brag, but there's a reason for it. I got a chance of actually going to Ray Matus' house over the summer and listening
Wow.
to the new Our Lady piece. And
Huh.
it was a very random reason why, but it was such a awesome experience to be able to be like, I grew up listening to you. I'm now sitting in a studio listening to you listen to your like this is insane. So like when in this case now, because you guys have been around for a number of years, is there like a humbling like holy crap we're doing this right now?
I mean, there's so many. You know, I just because it's top of mind, and we went to Plaskett's studio in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, and and we did basically that. He showed me a new song, and we were talking, and I asked him like, "Oh, what's the riff in your song? Nothing More to Say, inspired by? Like, like it feels kind of Rolling Stones." And then he's like, "No, it's this band, the Grifters from the '90s in Memphis," and he told me all about this band I'd never heard of before. So, I mean, lately that's been really cool. You know, to do a Joel Plaskett. But I mean, over the years, I don't know. There's been, I mean, getting into with the hip and getting to know them has been really cool. But yeah, I mean, you know, I was hanging out with Jimmy from Metric the other day. Even Andrew Scott. There's so many great Canadian bands that
Sure.
we look up to that we've got to spend time with. So I don't know. It's you know, it's actually I'll tell you we I was just in a vintage store in Toronto, and there was a bare naked hat. Actually, hold on, let me grab
I
it.
love how these are all
And
just readily available.
no, hold on. And who doesn't love the bare naked ladies? And I texted Ed and Jim from the band. I said, guys, I see this hat. I was like, do you want it? I was like, pick it up for me. So I just picked it up, and I'm bringing it over to Ed's.
Not many people can say that they picked up a favor hat for somebody, especially in the Bare Naked Ladies. So
Yeah.
all right, when it comes to the shows and whatnot, so again, you're starting things up in Kingston. I know you got, I think it's Kingston, Ottawa, and London, Ontario, and then you guys head out west. I believe is the tour. But what with the back-to-back shows? So out here you have Edmonton on November 1st, and then you got Calgary November 2nd. Now I don't know if like what you guys do after the show. I just always know this: whenever I'm done at a show, like me watching a show, I'm hyped. I want to go out. I want to party. I want to and all this. Do you guys have to go backstage and calm it right down, or is it like we're gonna party all night and then 5 minutes goes by like no, we should probably go to bed, or like how?
You know, everybody in the band has a slightly different relationship with it. And also it kind of depends on what city you're in, if you have friends that you really want to see. I can tell you that on my end, I need to be disciplined, just relate to my voice, because I don't understand when you see someone like Post Malone smoking 1,000 cigarettes and drinking 1,000 Bud Lights, and then just touring and it being like that's like superhuman Michael Jordan level like tour stamina.
Yeah.
I do not have that. So I'm like really vigilant about getting like 8 hours of sleep. And usually after the show, it's like, you know, we have like a videographer with us, and there's always like something that happens every night. I'm always trying to like keep my eyes peeled, like something in the crowd is going to happen that will be cool. And then, so like in Moncton, there was a couple that got married and came right to the show. They were in their wedding attire.
Oh, it's awesome.
and then we brought him on stage, and then so Nathan shows me the video, and then we get it up online. So it feels like I'm still like in work. I always say like I'm actually way more fun when I'm not on tour. When I'm home and I can just kind of go out and enjoy myself. It's or you know that's when I can be fun. But like when on tour, I just like I'm always just sort of thinking about like the next show and how we can make the next show great. Because the reality is like, we're in these places once every 2 years and we want to make it amazing. And I feel like I'd be filled with regret if I woke up in Edmonton and was like, I partied too hard in Saskatoon. I'm just gonna like be lazy today. I just like it's too hard of a job and too precious of a job to do that. So that's like the least rock and roll answer ever. But that's how I
feel. You mean not smoking the pack of darts, not going all from there. All right, man. Look, I know you got a few of these going on right now, and we went over a little bit over our time. So I just want to thank you very much for the quick little back and forth here. We're excited to have you out, man. We really are.
If you need tickets for the show, let me know, or let the team know.
I'll believe you me. The team already knows, and we're going to be there. And actually, my wife and I, it's the first time that my wife's going to be able to see you guys live. So it's yeah, and especially on a Saturday. That's the thing. It's like we're so happy because we get so few shows that are on weekends. So I told her, I'm like, it's a Saturday night. We can go to the Dome. We can go downtown. We can enjoy ourselves 17th Avenue, and then head to the actual stadium itself. So,
we worked really hard on this tour to get the routing so we could play these rinks on Friday and Saturday night, especially. So that was we're not really playing on Mondays and Tuesdays because you can't rock on Mondays and Tuesdays. Even Wednesdays is hard. You can really rock the best on Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
I wish I had more time with you because actually one of my questions was I noticed like except for like obviously the show tomorrow in Kingston, which is a Thursday, but everything's Friday, Saturday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I'm like, thank you. On behalf of all fans, thank you.
Yeah, it makes the whole thing a little more expensive, but we're like, it's worth it. It's great.
Right on. Yeah. Max from the Arkells, buddy. I cannot wait for next week, man. We'll get a chance to finally actually meet each other, so I'm very excited for that. And my friend, enjoy the tour, and we'll see you in a week.
Thanks so much.
Awesome. Thanks, brother.